Good evening and welcome to another edition of Mingus Mondays Live. My name is Helen Sung and I'm so pleased to play again for this series. We started off on March 30th, which also marked the beginning of my live streaming adventures, and it has been a very interesting 4 months. I hope you are all well and hanging in there, even as the temperature gets hot and humid here in New York. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, and I'm missing that central air. Let me tell you. Um, but tonight I'd like to be a little bit experimental and try some crazy things, and you know, because it is tough to not see people and play with people. So I'm going to try and replicate that a little bit. So here we go. I hope you enjoy Charles Mingus, hopefully in all his glory. Yes, it's going to be a little wild and woolly tonight, as I warned you at the beginning. That was uh, Mingus's OP, named after Oscar Pettiford, the great bassist, kind of coming out within one of my songs called Perpetual Motion. And before that was Oh Lord, please don't let them drop that atomic bomb on me. So thank you. Um, this next piece is one of my favorite pieces of Mingus's, and I get the pleasure of accompanying the fabulous tenor players in our band. You'll be seeing some of them uh, after this portion. Folks like Scott Robinson and Wayne Scoffrey, and well, I wanted to play the melody tonight, so and I think a mark of a great piece of music is you can play it on any instrument and it sounds fabulous. And this I discovered is true of Mingus's Sweet Sucker Dance. Thank you for Sweet Sucker Dance. I'm going to close things out with this is definitely an experiment. uh, and I think it's fitting. It's about New York City, the city we all live in, and this great place, great crazy place. Um, Mingus described it as a piano concerto, so I said, well, I'm gonna miss the band, but let me try and see if I can recreate a New York sketchbook. So wish me luck. I'll see you at the end. tuning in. And now I'm so excited to see, we're going to welcome esteemed members of the big band. And to kind of organize this part of this section, we want to welcome one of the wonderful Team Mingus members, Sarah Williams, and I gotta catch my breath.
That was beautiful. Are you reading?
Well, thank you. Huh? Thanks for letting me,
piano part?
Go nuts. Huh? Say that again.
Are you reading the score or the piano part?
Oh yeah, no, I just
that was. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. This is amazing.
Oh, that was really fun, and just thank all of you guys. What you have done through this unprecedented time is just amazing to keep us making art and music and sharing community. And we want to remind folks about the paypal.me/MingusBands, BANDS. And let's welcome the people that make up the Mingus Bands, why don't we?
We're making it a regular Monday night here.
I know, right?
Bravo, bravo. Amazing.
Making me nervous. I knew y'all were behind that black curtain there. I was like, oh. Lauren, Freddie, David.
That's great.
Helen,
gallery view.
you crushed it.
Oh,
Crushed it.
You're
Brought me back.
kind.
Brought me back to the club on a Monday. Beautiful.
Oh my
Good
God,
hearing you.
I'm freaked out now officially.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, you're too kind.
Wonderful.
It was amazing.
Oh man.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey.
What's good, everybody?
Girl, good to see you.
What's up? Same here. Sound wonderful.
Oh.
You took private. No fan.
Breath after playing the piano. She was like,
So,
Yeah,
yes,
start running like Lauren.
welcome
this
everybody.
heat. Ooh.
So you're just listening to.
Are you still eating?
Dinner and a show.
Where's my barbecue?
Dinner and a show.
At least there's no cover. There's no cover this time.
Helen likes to eat. She gets it.
Barbecue?
Yeah, we got the grill going here.
It's like if you want barbecue, you gotta make it yourself.
Right. Got my Gates barbecue sauce from Kansas City.
Oh, very nice.
There you go.
What? No stubs?
Jacks. Oh, any of those. I'll take it.
Texting in the room for barbecue. Anyway, thank you all for being here. This has been such a wonderful. This has been a wonderful journey for us. 18 weeks of Mingus Mondays. We're here. You were just listening to Helen Sung. We're here with Freddie Bryan, guitarist, David Gilmer, guitarist, Lauren Sevian, baritone saxophonist, Mike Richmond, bassist, David Kokoski, pianist, Earl McIntyre, tuba and low brass specialist, Michael Rubinowitz, bassoon, Jason Marshall, baritone saxophone, and Scott Robinson, tenor saxophone / miscellaneous.
Baritone
Everything.
saxophone.
If you have any questions for anybody, just leave them in the comments and we'll get them. Otherwise, we're really excited to have brought all these presentations to you, and everyone, it's been so special to all of us. Thank you guys so much. It was kind of a crazy, I know we kind of put you guys under the gun. It was a crazy experience doing it. Do you have any well, first of all, do you have any favorite moments from the last few weeks of doing these?
Favorite moments. There were so many good moments. Yeah. Well, when I can tell you that when I played with Willem and Russell, that was the first time I played with people since March.
Yeah.
So that was a great moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I finally got to realize my dream of playing the moaning baritone part on contrabass sax.
There you go.
That was
I
incredible.
was killing Scott, that whole thing.
There you go.
That was my happy, this whole thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that for years.
Hey, Scott, I don't know if I told you, I just recorded that on contrabass saxophone.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
With theremin on top, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But did you play the
That's the
Long
feeling
Island
we in.
Sound? That's the question.
Yeah.
Oh, why, Scott?
We have a question from the audience
What's that?
about Sweet Sucker Dance, you know, and oh man, Helen, it was so beautiful. And you know, we have Sue has all the tapes towards Sweet Sucker Dance was towards the end of Mingus's life. Sue put a DAT machine recording him at the piano and he would sing into it. For years and years. But Sweet Sucker Dance is one of those. And then Joni Mitchell did lyrics to it. So the question is, can you talk a little bit about Sweet Sucker Dance? Do you remember when you first heard it?
Of course, it was the Mingus big band playing it, and the melody to me is just one of those that just. I mean, I want Scott to talk about. He gets to play the melody, but it's something that just stays with. It stayed with me. Just there's something so tender and heartfelt and deeply sensitive, you know, about that whole song. That just it's definitely one of my top 3 Mingus tunes. Just beauty personified in music, you know. It's just gives me chills just talking about it actually.
Yeah, Scott, what do you think about Sweet Sucker Dance?
It's one of the great tunes, and it's another one of those things that on paper doesn't look like that. You know, the melody's pretty diatonic and everything. There's nothing overtly startling about it, but it is very, very expressive. I wonder, did Charles Mingus come up with those harmonies, or is that Cy Johnson came up with that, or what?
Yeah, I've always been curious about that. Who came up with the changes? Because I looked at Joni's recording. It's a little bit different than what Cy has, but I mean it's both killing.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, such a beautiful song.
Do you know where the
Does anybody know who came up with the changes, like for sure, or is that a mystery we need to investigate? Dave Kokoski, would you know?
you don't sing that into the
About it. The original version is it the one I know? I meant to ask you a question instead of because I don't have a good answer for that either. You were using. I really like the way you used the electric keyboard on top. Is that what is that exactly? It sounded like a Fender Rhodes, but it's not, right?
Nord, right?
Oh no, it's a Nord Electro.
But it has a really nice Rhodes sound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
a few. Yeah, those
That's a
Swedish
few.
are serious about
The one you
synth
used
sound.
on Sweet Sucker Dance, that the sound, is it weighted? Is that a weighted keyboard?
No.
It's like an organ. Yeah.
Yeah,
The action is like an organ.
yes, it's more like an organ, I would say.
Okay, but it's touch sensitive, right?
Yes.
You
Sounded
know, talking
great.
about reeds and
Sounded great.
mouthpieces.
See, and you guys were worried about mouthpieces, right?
But who's on the original recording? It was either Herbie or it was
Sounds like
Lyle
Herbie
Mate,
and
right? Was it Lyle
sounds
Mate?
like, it sounded like Herbie to me and Jocko and
Okay, because I know
I'm
Lyle.
not
I think it was Herbie and Jocko, and so I think it was nobody else. I'm not really sure. I guess it was the combination between Charles and Joni, right? That was they came up with the changes, right, between the two of them. I'm not sure.
Maybe Paul Jeffrey too, around that time,
Really?
I think. I'd have to ask Sue. Or
Yeah. That's a mystery. I guess nobody knows for
Yeah.
sure.
Probably, I have a feeling that probably what happened is that it evolved like that.
You know,
know?
there were a bunch of like lead sheets labeled sketches that were then that developed in partnership with someone.
But I think Cy, the version that we do with the big band, Cy put his own little twist on it, right? I would say that's
Right. I think he put the cherry on top of it. I had that.
yeah. He put a little.
feeling that it just kept moving.
Yeah.
And everybody is one of those kind of things that, even Charles himself, when he played the tune, every time you hear another version, there's another little wrinkle.
Exactly.
And I think it just had a natural evolution. And by the time Cy decided to do that chart, he had a real firm idea in his mind about what he wanted that sound to be.
Exactly.
And he captured it,
So Cy got the last part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
One of those tunes that kind
and
of
now,
unrolls and
Helen,
doesn't feel like it
of
has a
course.
beginning or an ending. It's kinda
Right.
keep
So
on-
y'all, can I ask this question? What Sweet Circle Dance might have been the first song I ever heard the Mingus Band do when I was in high school. And
Wow.
it was Seamus playing it. And
Right.
it was at I think it was at the Kennedy Center. Like 99, 2000, something like that. And I want to know, was Seamus the first person to play that arrangement?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because that's who I heard on the recording and who I heard live, but I don't know who played it.
He probably was, from what I remember. I mean,
Got it. Okay.
from what I remember. What do you think, Scott?
Wasn't me.
Probably Seamus.
You cut right to the chase on that one,
He said, I'll tell you who it wasn't.
I know that one.
Famous, that's one of those kind of questions because we all know how Monday nights roll. It could have been Seamus at that point. It might even have been Craig Handy, but but I tend to believe that you're probably right, because right into that period, I think Seamus was playing quite a bit. Probably a lot of it had to do with whether Sue was arguing with Craig or not.
That's real.
That's true.
That's real.
Or the other thing that could have happened,
Yeah.
don't say this is anybody else, but the other thing that could have happened is that Craig showed up late and Seamus played it. So,
And once Seamus played it, it was great.
If nobody's heard musicians' excuses, you gotta go look it up.
Oh boy.
You notice we saved all of her phone messages.
Oh wow.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
That's an audiobook waiting to happen.
Exactly.
Sue saved all her messages.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have y'all heard the messages that Sue has left other people though?
Oh man, that's an
man.
encyclopedia.
Oh
That's an
man.
encyclopedia. Right?
Hold on. Somewhere there's a message that Sue Mingus left for John Ellis, and the whole time she thinks he plays the French horn. And at the end of it, she asks, in case you don't play French horn, can you make this week on tenor saxophone?
That's amazing.
I heard it. I heard John played it for me.
But wait a minute. While I have all of you here, now, I don't know if anybody knows this story. I'm sure you've probably heard the story, but I'm not sure who it pertains to. But there's a great story about a Monday night where I think it was the second tenor player didn't show up. And apparently there was somebody who used to sub on the alto chair that also sang. And as I understand it, since the second tenor player didn't show up, Sue hired this alto player to sing the second tenor book. But I have no idea who that could be, But I mean, I'm trying to remember who told me that story. It might have been Stubbs.
Like the 90s or 2000s?
I would think it was like, relatively early and then,
Yeah.
Don't take us on that one. Okay.
So we have, if I may,
I'm not volunteering any names on anything.
a couple questions, if I may. When the band can play together again, what songs, what composition are you most looking forward to? Michael and Michael?
You want me to answer that question?
Yeah.
Well, in terms of the orchestra, Boris Kozloff wrote an arrangement of Meditation for Moses, which is gorgeous, and we hardly ever play it in the band, and that was the one that I'd like to play if I had that was my that would be my choice of the song that we played.
I guess with all the time off and our lack of rehearsals, it'll sound perfect.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. But the rough edges, Freddie, the rough edges are what it's all about.
That's yep. That's what we tell ourselves.
Jazz workshop.
Freddie, just remember, anybody could play it right.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike, how about you? Mike Richmond, what are you looking forward to playing?
Any of the tunes from Let My Children Hear Music, because I grew up with that record. And I went through quite a few of those records. I have like 4 or 5 of those records. I played them so much when I was younger. Any of those tunes would be great for me. And when we do those tunes on Monday night, I get chills because I remember when I was young, listening to those records and getting a chance to play them. It just gives me chills. Any of the tunes from that record, I mean, every tune is great, but any of the music from that record, I get the heebie-jeebies when we do it because I feel like I'm in my apartment or my parents' basement or something, listening to the record. And any of the tunes from that record just really kind of turns me on, and and when we're doing it on Monday night, I'm like that from the first beat to the last beat of the song. I don't think I ever told anybody that, but on my wall here, I have 1 million records, and I have a few of those records because I wore it out so much putting the needle up and down. So any of the tunes from that album are my favorites. Helen, I have a question for Helen.
Too. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for Helen. What are your other 2 favorite Mingus tunes? If that was one of them, what are the other 2?
Oh, I love Self-Portrait in 3 colors. That's just, I'm a sucker for a beautiful ballad. I love the pieces. What's the one that's kind of giant step-ish a little bit? It has chords that keep changing. I think it's in D flat. Do you know which one that is?
You're not talking about Tijuana, right? Tijuana Gift Shop?
Maybe, yes.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah. One of my favorites.
I want to play that one. I want to play Epitaph. Anybody want to do Epitaph again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
We got time. You know what I'm saying? We got time.
Yes.
We can rehearse.
You got about $100,000. Let's do it.
You're all on notice.
The rehearsals are Monday from 10 to 10. I know you can make it. You free.
Everybody's free.
Wait, let me check my calendar.
But before we do Epitaph, Sarah, you have to organize one of these Zoom calls just to tell Epitaph stories with Gunther.
Oh my God.
George Adams.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, right.
John Hicks.
Oh yeah.
In London.
Jack.
In London.
Jack Walrath anywhere.
Berlin. Jack Walrath anywhere, right?
Well, this Thursday, we're doing something with Jack. We've got Jack, Randy Brecker, a whole bunch of people. Alex Norris, Alex.
You got Walter White?
We got Walter.
Yeah.
Walter White.
Both of them.
We got Foz.
He was on that tour. Walter White. Oh,
this Thursday, 5 to 7, July 30th, Eastern Time on Zoom. Get your ticket. Free admission for Mingus Festival participants. Student discount available right to us.
Okay.
That's happening. Jack, yeah, everybody. It's going to be, all the instruments, we're going to do it.
It's going to be nuts with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're going to do an Epitaph Zoom thing?
No.
No, I was saying you should do it.
Oh, whoa.
So you should do it.
Oh man, that that
You
would
want
be.
to?
No, I'm talking about what? Let me clarify. A meeting talking about Epitaph.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Playing it would probably like what's that thing where Hercules cleans the stables? You know what I'm talking about? You know, or pushing the rock up the hill. You know,
Okay.
I think it'd be a bit much for virtual performance. You know,
Yeah.
it'd probably take us a year or something.
Yeah, yeah.
David Kukowski, what are you looking forward to playing?
Oh, anything really. I mean,
Just playing.
That's real. That's real.
just play. I can't think of a favorite song right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking about you know, albums you grew up with, Mingus. So one of these days I'm gonna make the orchestra play "Goodbye Pork by Hat" because I never get to play that. I never get to play that.
Damn it, you're right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a lot
I
of
got to
pent
tell
up
you,
emotion on this call.
Freddie, in
Yeah.
'99, when we played, when the orchestra just started, we played at Birdland, and Gil Goldstein wrote an arrangement for the orchestra of Goodbye Pork Pie Hat.
Ready to go.
Yeah, we did it back 99, 21 years ago. Gil Goldstein, yep. And I remember because we played. I took a solo. He had a bassoon solo in on E minor. I remember. Yeah, it was. We never played. We never incorporated any of Goldstein's charts in the band ever. After that,
Are they still available?
Sarah,
well, he's got them.
Oh, he got them. Okay.
He's
Okay.
got it.
Unless I don't think Sue. Maybe Sue bought them from him. I don't know how it works.
Maybe she didn't buy. That's why we're not doing it.
Okay.
I got you.
Thank you.
We're telling
Hey,
the truth on Monday nights. I got you. Okay.
Thank you, David.
But speaking of that song, since I'm already babbling, whoever wants to answer this, whoever thinks, sometimes it's like E flat minor and sometimes it's E minor, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I was trying to figure that out, and I watched some YouTubes of Charles, like with George Adams, and I think they were doing E minor.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's E flat minor, like in the real book and stuff.
That's interesting.
Does anybody know?
Yeah, that's
Do they
interesting.
switch? Is that what's happening?
when they
I don't know. Gil was
is a question, but I did see or hear Jack talk talk it. So Jack might be the person to ask on.
Yeah.
Ask him on Thursday.
Yeah.
He might know. Maybe on Thursday.
Yeah.
Maybe on Thursday we can ask.
Well, I know that who did it on guitar?
John McLaughlin.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking of Jeff Beck.
John
Jeff
McLaughlin.
Beck. That was E minor.
Oh, okay.
E minor.
Yeah.
Because it's all open strings. Makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, that's a guitar key. Yeah.
John McLaughlin did a version in D minor, actually, with a dropped E, you know.
Oh, really?
Tuned it down to D. That's actually the first time I ever heard the tune.
D minor?
That's my first discovery. Yeah,
He
D
is a
minor.
dog.
Did
Yeah.
you use a capo or something?
No, you just tuned it down a whole step. The E string.
Guitar
Oh,
strings, capo.
Tuned it down.
Very nice.
Tuned it down?
Yeah. Not just the E string, the low E string.
Oh, just the E string. Interesting.
Just to D.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a common thing. Yeah.
Is that on the record with Santana? That record?
It's on My Goals Beyond.
Yeah, I think Santana and
Santana
him
has something
together, right?
No, I think that's another record actually. But,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That could be.
Your records. What are your favorite Mingus records? Scott?
Anybody?
Favorite Mingus
You know, which one is it? It's Folk Forms. Was it live at the Jazz Workshop with Eric Dolphy and Ted Curson?
Mhm.
It's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
It's really raw. It's really open. It's really loose, and a lot of ensemble playing. I like that.
Yeah.
My favorite is Blues and Roots, and the first big band thing that ever came. I guess it's right after Mingus died. You know, the one with Nick Brignola on it?
Oh, Nick, yeah. Wow. Okay.
So it was before Big Band '93.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Let me find out what it is.
Mm.
Okay, I have it. It's called Big Band Big Band Charlie Mingus, and it was live at the Bologna Theater, Billancourt in Paris. It's Jackie Byard, Randy Brecker, John Faddis, Mike Zwerin, Jimmy Nipper, John Handy, David Murray, Clifford Jordan, Nick Brignola, Edgy
Nick
Johnson,
Brignola, huh?
yeah,
Nick Brignola,
Billy
wow.
Hart, and Jimmy Nipper. Jimmy Nipper was the conductor.
Oh, okay.
And this had to have been 1989, something like that. Yeah.
I'm very admiring of Mingus plays piano.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
There's some really nice stuff on that, actually. You know, it's just wow.
Some nice tunes on that.
Yeah, the way he thinks, the way he shapes the songs and the harmonic choices, it's like, dang! So, you know, it's pretty amazing.
So, you know, Cy Johnson did an arrangement for the orchestra, Me, Myself, and I Am Real.
Right.
From that out, yeah, he orchestrated that in one of those improvisations. Beautifully done. There's a
He's improvising the whole thing, right? Yeah.
But it's almost impossible to play. We rehearsed it many times, and we never really played it. I mean, never even got it together. But it's a great arrangement. Not easy to play.
Right. I remember
a lot of time. Remember, David? A lot of time changes in it.
When he conducted it, it when he wasn't there to conduct it. It was like,
Cy Johnson's conducting ability. Yeah.
No. I'm saying it had half a chance of.
I see.
Off,
yeah.
But we tried to do it with him not conducting.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
It was like whoever stood up and.
Right. Sometimes that works better, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
What about that record, Me, Myself, and I? You guys into that? Anybody?
Yeah.
It's got like two bass players or two drummers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And the Brecker brothers both are on it, and it's interesting. There's just three worlds of drums or two worlds of drums.
Yeah.
That's nice record.
Well, I would have to say that one of the records that I listened to when I was young was Mingus live at Carnegie Hall. And that was crazy. I was so into Rahsaan Roland Kirk at that time. I had about 17 of his LP records. Every time I went to a store, I would look for whatever Rahsaan they had, and it would be cut out, hopefully $1 or something like that, and I would get all these records. And so when I got the Carnegie Hall one, there's this famous thing where George Adams is playing all this crazy stuff, and then right after him, Rahsaan does all this crazy stuff, and then just starts swinging the blues like crazy, And it actually talks about it in the liner notes. So as a little kid, I'm looking like, oh man, he dissed him, man. He just played his. Oops, sorry. He played his. So it's funny. I remember reading the liner notes and just getting into it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Last one. Check it out. Oh no, sorry. That's Miles Davis. Never mind. But I remember I was in summer camp, and one side of the bunk was blasting the Who, and the other side of the bunk was blasting the Grateful Dead, and they were arguing about who was better, Pete Townsend or Jerry Garcia.
Wow.
And so then I blasted Miles Davis' Bitches Brew, and I was talking about McLaughlin. Anyway, so I'm over it. Okay. Someone else.
I'm over it.
But you know what? So getting back to impossible stuff and stuff that I'd like to play when we get back, I'd really like to see the band do a definitive version of Black Saint and Sinner But I think it would have to be recopied.
It
I was getting ready to say we need a definitive
rehearsed.
copy before we can have a definitive version.
Right. No.
Just missing.
I think that's what needs to happen.
Crossed
How about some
out.
definitive manuscript before we have a definitive version? How about that?
Doing that for a while. Remember in the 90s, I guess? We had that going for a while, even with that chart. No?
Yeah, but it was.
Little-
It never felt like. It never really felt like we had it to the level that I really think the music.
Stopping and starting but I mean, there's a lot of piano stuff, and it wasn't. I mean, it was written fairly well. The piano part. I don't know about the horns.
The horn parts were not written.
Yeah,
that
my
well.
part looked like the Dead
That's
Sea
a big problem.
Scrolls.
Yeah, the piano part wasn't that bad.
It was written for dancers, right?
I don't know. Really?
Like saying?
I didn't know
I have a provocative question.
Go ahead.
Do you think that we would ever rehearse in the post-pandemic age?
Good question.
Boy, that silenced the part. Sorry.
A hush falls over the crowd.
Okay, I'm out of this.
No, I mean, especially I think like something like Black Sinner and the Saint and the Sinner Lady. Just
You gotta rehearse. We
That
have to
requires
rehearse.
rehearsal.
Yeah.
Well, you mean like hopefully when this dies down.
Oh yeah. No, once we're able to.
Yeah, well, I would think that we're going to do something like that. That might be people might actually show up because they're not used to seeing each other anymore. You know what I mean? So
It's location,
each other again.
setting.
Just
Yeah.
nice to, especially. Are you guys gonna? Because one thing, I mean, some of you guys have written arrangements, right, for the big band and stuff. Because Boris gave me a CD of stuff that still hasn't been arranged, so that's something.
How long ago?
Wow, it's been a while. I thought I lost the CD, but I just moved in right beginning of March, and so now I'm going through everything, and I found it. I was like, oh, here it is. So I'm gonna listen to it.
shoot, honey. I'm in the middle.
Wayne,
of
button your
something
shirt
now.
up.
I'm in the middle of something now. I'm trying to finish. So.
I want to make sure everybody knows that I got pecs.
Oh God.
That's what.
Wayne,
So that's what those are.
this is a family show.
I'm working out during quarantine. Y'all know what y'all doing. Just eat.
Hey, man, let's don't stand up because we don't know we have it. We're wearing
Put some
pants.
clothes on.
Hey, Wayne, watch out. I see a gray hair there, man. Watch out, baby.
Oh.
Oh.
Close.
Welcome, Wayne, tenor saxophonist for the Mingus Big Band.
Yes. Formal introduction. Good evening. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
I think I have a question. What do you guys, truly, how do you guys feel Mingus combines so many different styles, and you have pieces like that are just hard swingers, and then you have pieces that are very like classical almost in nature, and then you have a chorales, and then just like some dirty blues. How do you feel about that in like a performance setting? And the big band has a it's a unit, but there's like a looseness to it. And from your perspective, I want to know what that's like.
The world. I mean, Mingus created a world, so it's not. He wasn't a style. There's a whole world. It's just like if you step out in nature, you see rocks, and then you see a pond, and then you see trees. These things are very different from one another, but they're all part of this big world. I always admire people that create a world, not just a style, but a world. Then you can step
Good way
into
to
that
describe
world.
it.
No, I think that's like a real accurate way of looking at it. A lot of times when people ask me what it's like to come hear the band, I tell them that sometimes when you listen to the band, it sounds like the band is going to heaven. And sometimes when you listen to the band, it sounds like the band is falling down a flight of stairs. And sometimes all that happens in the same tune. And no matter what you think, is going to happen, trust me when I tell you something different is going to happen. So,
Nice.
Well, you guys, if we don't have any more questions, I want to, I mean, do you all have any questions for each other? I mean, thank you so much for doing this. It's been, I can't believe it's been 18 weeks of Mingus Mondays.
Yeah, I want to thank you very much for doing this, because I think it's
Yes.
been a great way to continue, the momentum of the bands in some way, because it's outside of this, there's really nothing else. This is the way they can kind of engage with Mingus's music on a regular, weekly basis. So I think that was a great thing that you were able to do. So kudos to you and the staff over there, first of all.
Thank you, and thank you, Liz.
Thank you,
and
Sarah.
Pat and Ted,
Appreciate y'all.
and everybody.
Ted, everybody.
Yeah.
And one more thing, Helen, you were killing on the OP. I love that arrangement. You were killing it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
I
you.
couldn't see all your faces. I mean, I already nervous knowing y'all were hovering. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Sue Mingus too, right? Sue
Yeah.
Mingus.
well, you know what the biggest problem is now, though, Helen?
What?
The big problem is that you opened the door. See, because now the next time we record, we're all going to remember you played that electronic keyboard, which I hadn't thought about. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I've
Well,
had it on Hammond, Oregon. I've had it on Hammond, Oregon.
You let the cat out of the bag.
Is Sue listening?
What? What's that?
Helen, did you say Sue was listening?
no, I just said thank you to Sue Mingus, of course.
Oh, yes, of course.
Of course. Thank you, Sue Mingus. I just want to introduce everybody again. This is Freddie Bryant, Michael Richmond, Lauren Sevion, David Gilmore, David Gikoski, Earl McIntyre, Michael Rabinowitz, Wayne Escoffery, Scott Robinson, and Jason Marshall, and the wonderful Helen Sung on piano who you listened to tonight. Thank you so much for being here. This Thursday at 5 o'clock, 5 to 7, the Mingus Institute is presenting a trumpet forum, so check that out, please. We've got a great lineup. I'm really excited for that. I want to thank you guys, the audience, for checking us out for the last 4 months. The last gig the big band had, or the orchestra, was the beginning of March. I think it was the 8th, whatever the Monday was, the first Monday in March.
Wow.
Nice. March 9th.
With us. It's been really exciting to see into each of your lives, and how we always see you as a group, and get to enjoy that. So I've had a lot of fun with each of you individually, and thank you to the audience, thank you to Jazz Standard, and the staff. We miss you so much. Thank you to the Ngaro family. Thank you to Sue Mingus so much. That's the reason we're all here. And thank you so much to the Charles Mingus, who created this wonderful world for us.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're happy to share that with you. PayPal.me/Mingus Bands. We've got a whole bunch of people that are dedicated to performing this music. And thank you all for being here. Really, really enjoyed this.
Y'all take care.
Stay
All
safe.
right. Bye-bye.
Everybody
Bye-bye.
stay safe.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care, everybody. See you soon.
Guys, miss you all.
Yeah, same here.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Here.